What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. And welcome to my new gaming rig. But first things first. So I promised you guys a video and you're going to get one. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for helping me get past the 100 subscriber mark. It was bad timing because this computer was being rebuilt when it happened, and I was planning on having the video up when it happened. And you guys have just been killing me because now we've gone like 40 over, so it's like 140 subscribers now, and that's like in less than a week past the 100 mark, so it's just flying by at the moment, which is great, and I'm loving it. And I just wanted to say, like, a big thank you, and I know you guys probably don't take it seriously or whatnot, but seriously, me getting subscribers and seeing feedback that people are actually watching my content and enjoying it and interacting, posting comments, things like that. That is what motivates me to keep doing these videos. When I see that things are working and I'm making progress, it motivates me, it makes me happy, and I just can't thank you guys enough for giving me the opportunity to keep making these videos, because if no one watched them, then I would feel pretty crappy, to be honest. Anyway, enough talking about that. Let's move on to bigger and better things. So this is my new gaming rig, and I've had a lot of questions from people about what hardware I run, especially super sampling. That's brought up a ton of questions about things. So I decided when I rebuilt my rig, I was going to show everyone what the rig is, why I did it this way, and just a quick overview of if there's actually been any gains, because it wasn't a huge jump platform-wise. So before, I had the i7 4790K chip with a Asus Maximus VII Hero mainboard, and it was pretty crap, to be honest. It didn't overclock, and I'm good with overclocking, and it just, something was a dud in the system, and I never got around to working it out. And I had the opportunity to build a brand new system, and I decided to do it. The other reason I did it, or two other reasons I did it, I have to do video editing now, obviously, for YouTube, and the rendering times are quite lengthy, depending on how long the video is. And I noticed a few interesting things in Elite Dangerous where there seemed to be a bottleneck using 2.5 times super sampling, and my graphics card was actually throttling down a little bit, which you'll see in the video. So I decided to upgrade the rig, try and get more bandwidth, open up all the bottlenecks that might potentially be in the system, and get it ready for the future of VR. Actually, one other reason I upgraded this system, and it is one thing you guys don't really know about when it comes to the Vive, and that is USB resources. When you plug in the Vive, you use up a shitload of USB devices, well, sort of virtual devices, because of all the hardware that's mounted in the Vive. You've got your camera, you've got your Bluetooth system, wireless system, interfaces, everything, and I was actually running out of USB resources quite often on my system when I was using other devices, hubs, and things like that. And this system hasn't had a problem with that. So that was one of the big things that I wanted to fix with this new rig. So we have a i7 6700K in here, overclocked, and it's running, it can run up to 4.9 gigahertz, and it is stable at that, but I've dialed it back a bit. So it's running about 4.8 daily. And it's quite happy doing that, and it sped up my rendering quite significantly. And yeah. So the main board is the MSI Z170A X-Power Gaming Titanium Edition. Why did I get that main board? Well, mainly because the PCI slot spacing, and because it has two NVMe slots for the ultra-fast SSD storage. And I love the look of the main board as well, and it wasn't that much more than the other mainboard I was looking at, so I decided to go for it, and it was doing really well in reviews when it came to overclocking, and that really showed when I overclocked it, because this chip is a gem and it is performing really well. And I love my NVMe slots. I've got one filled up already, and the other one is getting filled up very soon because I use it as a scratch disk for my video editing. And yeah, so we've got a couple of SSDs. There's a Samsung SSD there. There's a SanDisk SSD there. The SanDisk is a 1 terabyte that's used just for storage of video editing files. And so the NVMe drive runs Windows, and that one runs another operating system, which I won't mention in a YouTube channel. So the graphics card, I'm still using a 980 Ti hybrid. Very good graphics card. It is quite possibly the best graphics card I have ever bought. I got it just over 12 months ago now, and it's been brilliant. It has not had a single problem. I've had no driver issues, and I just love it to bits. And to be honest with you, the NVIDIA 1080 isn't really the replacement for the 980 Ti. The 1080 Ti is the replacement. So that's what I'm holding out for. I'm not planning on buying a new graphics card until the 1080 Ti arrives, or possibly the Titan X. But the Titan X is a crazy expensive card, but I don't know which way I'm going to go with that yet. So basically, I've built this system to be future-proof. I don't plan on changing anything for quite a while. The main board will support up to 4 graphics cards. Never do that in the real world because the slots, you only get X4 if you run 4 graphics cards. But I do intend to run 2, and that would be X8 for each graphics card on the PCIe buses. And that is enough. It won't bottleneck or anything. No problems there. So my plan is, in the future, to get a 1080 Ti or a Titan X, and then add another one in after that for Sly once the VR support is really mainstream with it. At the moment it's not, so don't even bother trying to use Sly with VR. Yeah, so all that's built around having the potential for 2 graphics cards in the future. And then we've got the power supply down here, which is a 1000 watt platinum Antec power supply, one of the best on the market. Actually, I think it probably is the best aside from the new titanium Corsair one. Yeah, so, 980 Ti is hanging around for a while. It overclocks well. It can still match a 1080 when it's overclocked, but it can't go much beyond that. So, but it's not holding me back at the moment, so we're just going to stick with it. Now, in regards to performance, did I see an improvement going from my old chip to this one? So my old chip was running about 4.4 gigahertz. Wasn't really overclocked or anything. It was just sort of hovering. So this one's running at 4.9 if I need it, which is a fair jump, along with the improvements in the chip itself. And also we have the DDR4 RAM. So this RAM is running at 3000 megahertz, and it is running at tight timings. So I imported this RAM just for that reason. So it's 15 timings at 3000 megahertz, and it's capable of 3200 if I can get the system to run stable at that speed, which I can't at the moment, but it's alright. 3000's fine. So I tested it in Elite Dangerous, and I decided to just go balls to the wall with it. I was 2.5 times super sampling again, where I was sitting on 18 frames a second before. Wouldn't go any quicker than that. That was it. And with this new system, freshly built, not a scientific comparison, but I got it up to 21 FPS. So 3 FPS improvement for just a CPU, mainboard, and RAM. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I didn't expect anything to happen, to be honest. I still think there's a bottleneck somewhere, though, because if you look at this video, my GPU clock's still jumping around a little bit. It's not throttling, it's not overheating, nothing's happening like that. It's just, there seems to be some sort of a bottleneck that's pulling the GPU back a little bit. It's not getting the data it needs to keep the core up at full speed. That's my theory about it anyway. But it does seem more stable than it was before. So that's a plus. It could just be the game engine, I don't know. Oh, almost forgot, the case. The case. Oh, it's lovely. So this is a Phanteks Evolve case. Yeah, something named like that. Really nice case. The lighting layout isn't very good in it, but the case itself's fantastic. I love it. It looks space age, and it's quite expensive though. Keep that in mind. But yeah, I've had this case for in my last build as well, and I still love it. And of course, I've decked it out with Noctua fans, which are dead silent. You don't hear this system at all unless it's running flat out. And yeah, that's pretty much all we've got in here at the moment. It's doing the job, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I get questions about it all the time, and I thought I may as well just show you the whole system, and that way you know. Anyway, that concludes this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to get back to some games now. The system's up and running, and there'll be one coming in a few days, so I hope you enjoy it. See you then.